What if I told you that there's a huge piece of our history that, well, isn't really history at all? That it's actually alive, right now, all around us. It's woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. A lot of times just hiding in plain sight. Let me show you exactly what I mean.
Okay, let's start with a name like Chattanooga, right? We all know it's a city in Tennessee, but the name itself, that comes from the Muskogee language, and it means rock rising to a point, so its roots go way, way deeper than the city's founding.
Or how about Oshkosh? You're probably thinking of the clothing brand, right? But it was actually named for a real person, a Menominee chief whose name meant claw or nail. See? The name tells a much older story.
And Missoula, in Montana. These aren't just dots on a map, you guys. They're like linguistic echoes of the people who were here first. But this hidden history, it's not just about places.
It's in the words we use every single day. I mean, have you ever stopped and wondered where the word skunk even comes from? When you say it, you're actually speaking a word with deep Native American origins from an Algonquian language.
Or squash, that word we use all the time for the vegetable, it comes directly from the Narragansett language, from the word Oscuda squash. How cool is that?
Even the word bayou, which feels so deeply tied to the American South, right? It actually has its roots in the Choctaw word bayuk, which means small stream. So, does any of that sound familiar? Or maybe a little surprising? If it does, you're not alone. And there's a really good reason for it. It all points to a much bigger picture, one that for most of us is kind of blurry.
Yeah, let's call it the blurry snapshot. Because for most people, our understanding of Native American history is just that. It's incomplete, it's fuzzy, and honestly, it leaves out most of the actual story. I mean, think back to the timeline you probably learned in school. The story kicks off here with Columbus in 1492. Then it kind of jumps way forward to a vague ending somewhere in the late 1800s, with cowboys and the so-called end of the frontier. And after that, just nothing. A massive, glaring gap.
So why? Why is this view so common? Well, it's a mix of things we've all probably run into. Misinformation passed down over the years, all those persistent stereotypes you see in movies, and, let's be real, the huge gaps in what most of us were ever taught in history class.
And the result is this really harmful perception. It's kind of giving, oh, those noble people who aren't around anymore. It treats entire cultures like they're just artifacts in a museum. But that could not be further from the truth.
Okay, so let's completely reframe this. This isn't about history. It's about now. It's about a living, breathing, and unbelievably resilient culture that is actively shaping our world today.
And here is the single most important takeaway. Native Americans aren't history. They are here and they are now. They're our neighbors, they're our colleagues, they are a vital part of today's world.
And our guide through a lot of this is Che Jim. He's an actor, a comedian, an educator, an activist, and an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation. His whole work is about challenging that blurry snapshot and bringing a modern, vital voice to all these stories.
A really core idea he shares is this concept that laughter is medicine. And this is so much more than just telling jokes. It's a powerful tool for resilience. It's about using humor to heal, to open up space for tough conversations, and to process a really complex history while still celebrating a vibrant present.
So if the old story is just a blurry snapshot, how do we bring the real picture into focus? Well, we do it by seeking out the amazing stories that have been left out, the ones that fill in all those blanks. Stories of resilience, of innovation, of modern identity.
I mean, just look at people like Jessie Little Doe Baird. She's a linguist who helped bring the Wampanoag language, a language that hadn't been spoken for 150 years, back to life. Or look at Susan Shona Harjo, a leader in the decades-long fight to get rid of racist mascots and names in sports, including Washington's NFL team. These are powerful stories of real modern impact.
And it's not just about individuals either. To really get what's happening today, we have to understand these bigger ideas, like modern identity and governance. For example, what does it actually mean to be a citizen of a native nation today? Well, it means understanding the whole complex journey from treaties to reservations, and really getting how modern tribal governments work right now as their own distinct political bodies.
And this is so important. This new understanding isn't a story being told about Native people. It's being shaped and shared by them. We're talking about a whole team of Native experts, scholars, curriculum developers, artists, who are bringing true authenticity and deep knowledge to the table.
So, where does that leave us? Well, this isn't an ending. It's really a beginning. It's an invitation to finally replace that old, blurry snapshot with a vibrant, high-definition, moving picture.
Which brings us all the way back to a question that seems so simple, but is actually incredibly complex. What actually is Native American history? Because as we're starting to see, the answer isn't just locked away in the past. It's all around us. And you know what? It's still being written.